And on these forces of friction, air drag, resistance, the work is path dependent. Okay, so we'll look at it from one more view and then we will conclude. In this case, we have discussed that the energy of this block will be dependent only on its height and not on the path. We took the path to be a straight line. Even if we have brought it on a curved path, even then the work done would have been the same and hence the energy stored would have been the same. Now see, when we are moving on a curved path, Earth all the time is pulling the block vertically downward. So the force which we have to overcome, that is all the time acting vertically downward. So on this path, to cover this path, the displacement that it has horizontally, that has no opposition. There is no force on the left hand side, so that we have which we have to overcome to bring the block to right hand side, because we are not considering any air friction atmosphere here, so we are not considering any resistance due to the air. We are considering a situation in which the resistance due to the air is negligible. So there is no force which one need to overcome to bring this block towards right. So we just have the work done. There will be no work done by us actually to move this block towards right. Work will be done only to lift it up. So even if it is going on a curved path like this, the displacement that it had towards right, there is no work required for this block to move towards right. The work would be required for this block to move upward. So no matter whether it has come to a height h1 through a straight line, or it has come to a height h1, same height h1 through a curved path, work done will be the same irrespective what path it has followed. Okay, because the force it has to overcome is acting all the time downwards, so we have to do work only for upward movement. For a left-right movement, there is no work required. So work will be the same in this straight line and on this curved line. So that finishes our discussion and we'll conclude this. The bottom line of the discussion we had since last 15 minutes is this. Work done for certain forces depends only on the position and not on the path. Work done for other certain set of forces depends on the path. So it's a good idea to segregate them. The first set of forces, we call them conservative force, because the energy at a point is conserved, because the work done depends only on the initial and final point. So the energy that the body will acquire at particular point is fixed, no matter by what path we have brought the body or the block to that point. So energy is conserved at a point. It depends, energy depends only at the position and not on the path. Those set of forces, the work done by whom, does not depend on the path and depends only on initial and final position. Those set of forces are called conservative forces. The work done by those forces which depend on the path and not just on the position, those forces are called non-conservative forces. Now the most important thing that comes out of this discussion is, for conservative forces we are able to define potential energy. For non-conservative forces we don't define potential energy because we cannot come up with such a concept. Now at a height h, we know that potential energy is mgh. There is a defined potential energy of a body of mass m at a given height h. Now it goes up and comes back, or it directly come to the height h, it does not matter. Potential energy is defined at a height h, because from the previous discussion that we had, the work done to bring the body at point h will be fixed no matter to what path we have followed to bring that body to a height h. So work done is fixed, so whatever work we have done, that goes into the energy of the system. So the energy will also be fixed because work done is fixed. If energy is fixed, then the energy at each point could be defined beforehand, because the energy is not depending on the path. So we are able to define potential energy at every point. That is the most important significance of conservative forces. For non-conservative forces, we cannot define potential energy, because if we come via a different path at the same point, work done will be different. So energy stored in the system will also be different. It depends on the path. So potential energy is not defined for non-conservative forces. Potential energy is only defined for conservative forces. So the first important thing that comes out of our discussion is potential energy is defined for conservative forces. The other thing that comes out of it is kinetic energy, the mechanical energy, kinetic energy plus potential energy remain conserved in a field where there is only conservative forces acting. For example, when you lift this block up at certain height, and then when the block comes down to a certain height, then potential energy at this point is fixed. That was point number one. The potential energy is fixed. Now, whatever energy it has to have at this point, it cannot have any other potential energy than that, because potential energy at a given height would be fixed. Potential energy at this given height would be fixed as well. So when the block comes down, the potential energy has to decrease, because potential energy at this point is supposedly less than the potential energy at this point. The rest of the energy will go into the kinetic energy. So no matter whatever the potential energy and kinetic energy is, the potential energy plus kinetic energy, that will always be conserved. So when the block comes down at two different points, every point has a fixed potential energy. The potential energy would keep on decreasing, and that energy will go into kinetic energy. So in a conservative force, potential energy and kinetic energy are conserved. The third thing is, in a cyclic process, in a mechanical cyclic process, like we brought the block up and then we brought the block down slowly so that it doesn't acquire any kinetic energy, then the net work done will be zero. As you can understand, because the potential energy at a given point is fixed, whatever potential energy it had before, the same potential energy it will have, because it has come back to the same position. And potential energy is defined and is fixed at a particular position. And we did the job slowly, it doesn't have any kinetic energy. So there is no change in potential energy, there is no change in kinetic energy, so there is no change in energy at all. So if there is no change in energy, that means we did not give any energy, that means we did not lose any energy, that means we did not do any work. Okay, because in lifting we did work, and in bringing it down, work was done on us. So net amount of work that we did not do. That is point number 3. The fourth point is energy, work. Work is actually retractable. It is recoverable. We do some work in pulling the block up, and that work is totally recovered. We did some work, and in the return path, the same amount of work was done on us. So we are at no loss, no profit. So we are not losing anything. Whatever work, whatever energy we gave to the block via work in pulling it up, the same amount of energy was given us back by this block doing work on us in the return path. So my work was actually completely recoverable. All the work, the energy that I invested by doing work was given back to me in the return path. Now this happens only in case of conservative force. If there would have been a friction block on a frictional surface and I have been moving it forward and I've been moving it backward, and then in both the cases I have to do work. Instead of this, if there was a spring block system kept on the ground, frictionless ground like this, now when I press this block towards the wall, and there is some contraction in the spring, then I have to do work to move the system, to move the block towards left. And then if I allow it to come back, then it will do the same amount of work on me. So because there is only conservative force here, there is no friction, and the spring force is conservative force, my work is completely recoverable. Whatever energy I gave, the same amount of energy will be given back to me. So that is the fourth important characteristic of conservative forces, that the work in case of conservative force is completely recoverable.